You ever wanted something really bad when you were a kid, but you either never got it, or whenever you did get it, it was not exactly what you wanted? Well, when I was little, I had a choice between a Nintendo and a Game Boy. Now, I really like the idea of a Game Boy, A video game you can carry around with you and have fun with wherever you go. But Dad bought me a Nintendo instead. And man, I appreciated that more than I ever knew. Because eventually I did get a Game Boy. And it wasn't cool. It wasn't awesome. I mean, anybody who's ever really owned a Game Boy knows that they weren't that great. They were green, spinachy looking. And if you moved too fast, you couldn't see your character anymore. So I guess my favorite hobby nowadays is just making that Game Boy that I always wanted. You know? I mean, Sony put out some really cool things like the Vita. Retroid put out one of my favorite handhelds. They pretty much play whatever you want. That's my new toy. But I didn't really learn anything, from the Sony stuff. That is, until they discontinued their shop. And then I learned all about hacking. And I bought an old Vita from a pawn shop. And this old Vita was scratched all to snot whenever I first got it. It didn't work very well at all. But then I went on Amazon and I ordered some parts and I fixed it. And hacked it, put in a new SD card, and I made it awesome. And I found a Sony PSP at the pawn shop. And it was hot garbage when I got it, I'll tell you. But another trip on Amazon, got some parts, and looky here. I've got a see-through Sony PSP. I don't use the disk drive because I don't have to, so I get longer battery life. And it's just awesome to have a clear see-through PSP. And another thing I like to do was go on YouTube and watch all these videos where all these people would be, hacking their Game Boys and what have you. And you'd find these little emulators. Now the emulator was neat. The older ones didn't play very well. Like this is my oldest one. The best it can do is PlayStation 1, which is great. Now this one can play Nintendo 64 one game. It can play Super Mario 64, but that's a PC port. And I got into the bigger Ambernick handhelds. This one can play PSP. And I bought two of those because at the time, I learned how to put Doom mods on it. And Doom mods basically means making new games within the Doom engine. And I was playing all kinds of neat stuff on that thing. Then there's the Ambernick. It's part Android and part emulator. It's pretty good. And a lot of the comments were like, "Oh man, those emulators suck so bad, I might as well just get a telephone and play on that." Well, that's what that is. I put a telephone in a handheld and bing-a-bam. It plays pretty good. I like the tablet version better. Bigger screen. I can play all my Android Rockstar games on it. That's pretty cool. Now, I did get one scam product. If you've ever seen one of these, don't buy it. It's garbage. I called up Amazon and they gave me my money back and I got to keep the handheld. Yay! My current project is this. It's the RG505. And dude, is it awesome. I can take all my PSP games and play them better on this. I like that. The what you call it? The Android side wasn't that great though. Like if you bought the Rockstar games from Google Play, you will be able to play Vice City. That one works pretty good. But Max Payne had a yellow box around it. A couple of the other Rockstar games had yellow boxes around it when you played it. So this thing plays Android games better than this brand new toy. But there's things on here that I can do that are pretty darn awesome. I play Hollow Knight. I've got all my Doom mods on here so I can do my Doom mod madness. I got Dead Cells, Postal, which is my favorite, AM2R. But looking back, just about every one of these was a new hobby. Several months of learning stuff, learning how to fix it, learning how to hack it, learning how to just run the darn thing. So, yeah, that's my hobby. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.